Okay, morning everyone. Well, looking out the window, this wasn't quite what I thought was going to happen today. Slightly different from my look at the forecast yesterday. So you look at the chart here, we look like we're in a sort of ridge of high pressure, but I begin to sort of think it's got more tendencies of sort of the sort of warm sector between fronts. Does feel rather damp out there, and looking at there's drizzle in various places all the way out to Wales. So I think it will take a little while to dry out. You can see which way the wind's coming from, all the way across here, westerly direction. Some reasonable spacing on the isobars, so it's not going to be howling, but it will be fairly breezy as it was yesterday. Pressure's still fairly high, so you'd hope it dries out reasonably quickly. Farnborough, fairly short to have. Key points, westerly again, 11 knots. Yeah, 10 to 15 yesterday on the ground, most of the time with gusts, occasionally up to sort of 20 knots. And I think it'll be a similar today, scattered at 4.5. That may be what it gets to later on, but I think even that's rather optimistic. What we've got now is this broken at 1,200 feet, which says they're between 9 and 12, and their actual, look at that, they're giving broken at 1,400 feet. It looks a lot lower here. That's not broken at 1,000. Looks quite a bit lower here. Odium, which I tend to find being more accurate. Metar, broken at 900 feet. So yeah, we're 200 feet higher than Odium. Yeah, 700 feet, maybe a bit less than that. And the upper winds, these two boxes here both show westerly, 260, 270 at flying heights, and 270, 280 further to the north. So yeah, west, and 25 to 30 knots. So like yesterday, noticeable when you were flying that you weren't making much progress into wind. SatPic shows some sort of brighter white areas here, really, and this is the sort of bits of rain that are coming out of the thicker cloud. Don't think it's a front or anything else that's coming out. I just think it's sort of damp air and a thick layer of cloud that's just drizzling out of it, and it will dry out, I think, as the morning goes along. You can see from the rain radar. Oops, sorry, I cancelled that. But the rain radar basically showed odd blobs all the way out to Wales. Okay, temperature, first time I've seen in a few weeks, 10 degrees indicated there, so perhaps it'll feel a little bit warmer than it did yesterday. Go with 10, 11 degrees, but certainly when you're out on the runway it felt a bit colder than that yesterday, and I think it will do today. And top meteo, they're this is their 9 o'clock forecast. They're showing that low cloud running out to Wales, and it's just here for a couple of hours, starting to improve by 11, 12 o'clock, and then by 1 o'clock, scattered cumulus and a spread out and overcast in places. And generally a nice afternoon, a little bit like yesterday where it overcast for a few hours and then broke up in the afternoon. So once this goes in a few hours, I think it will be a better day, quite pleasant. You know, might even get some local soaring, but fairly breezy from the west. Okay, so that I think covers the forecast. It's fairly simple, straightforward, and it will be a flyable day at some point when this starts to improve. So what have we got airspace wise? Nothing locally to us around the Lasham area. One or two things of interest. Number 7 here is restricted airspace for a UAV, a drone, which I think they're doing drone trials flying between Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight. to Southampton, the Isle of Wight. And that's running today. There'll be a few of those lurking around during the summer. So we'll keep an eye. They only run up to about 1,000 or 1,500 feet at the most. And this is just article dropping at Abingdon. Apart from that, it's all clear in this area here. So what else have we got today? In theory, 737 departure sometime between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. And that's just going abroad. And there's a possible 757 departure at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but all indications at the moment are it may well be postponed till tomorrow. And that's about it, really. So when we do operate, we're going to be on 27, fairly standard runway setup. Not sure which side the cables will go yet. We'll brief that when we get out there. Okay, folks, plenty of time for another cup of tea and a chat. We see the weather improving, we'll go and get the kit out.